Shwmai a croeso cynnes, and welcome to the What's Your Story podcast. I'm James Owen, a Welsh filmmaker and storyteller, and I'm passionate about sharing stories. This podcast is all about business owners sharing their journey, and we'll be speaking with directors, entrepreneurs and creatives from all across Wales to learn from their experiences. We believe everyone has a story to tell. What's your story? Shwmai a croeso I What's Your Story, and today I'm really excited to welcome a local guest, someone who was born and raised in the same village as me of Felinfol in Llanelli, and this person is now building a plant empire. And I say that because I heard him say it this week. Today in the studio, we have a bit of a serial entrepreneur, and his most recent thing is plants. From bugs to plants, in the studio today, we've got Cameron. Cameron, it's so good to have you in, mate.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. You've been on my hit list for some time. You're a really inspiring young man. And yeah, to see you doing really well in your plant business is fantastic. So, The Secret Plant House. And I love The Secret Plant House so much, though. We came to buy some plants to fill the studio and the offices here. So for those maybe watching and listening, because not everyone lives in Ammanford, what is The Secret Plant House? If you can explain that in just a few sentences.
So The Secret Plant House is a boutique plant shop, basically. We specialise in rare and exotic houseplants, cacti, unusual stuff you won't find in your typical garden centre.
So it's a bit more than B&Q, maybe.
Yeah, 100%.
Better quality.
Yeah.
Maybe we can touch on that because I don't know very much about that. In fact, Mel Evans, guest on the podcast a few months ago, she used to work in the garden centre industry, which has sort of changed over the years. So maybe we can talk about that. And maybe why you should buy local and not from a national brand. But it's not always been plants, as a Cameron. You've done this rodeo a few times. I learned a lot. And at the age of 16, you had your first business.
Yeah, indeed. So at 16, I started Bug Box, which was where it says on the tin, we had bugs going in boxes at the time all around Europe. So we had tarantulas, scorpions, millipedes, pretty much anything you can think of bug-wise. We sell them to people as pets. We do education schemes, handling sessions, pretty much anything you could do with a bug, really.
Wow. And what inspired you to do that? You just in school, you just had an interest in insects. Where did that come from?
Yeah, a bit of a mix, really. So I was in college and we had the enterprise coordinator done like an enterprise talk, Becky Pask. And
Becky Pask?
Yes.
Never.
Yeah. Mm-hmm, yeah.
Oh, okay.
She was a massive inspiration for my startup. So I met up with her after the talk and I was like, I'd love to be my own boss, just didn't know what to do. We went through a crazy amount of ideas. And then we realized...
Do you remember any of them?
One of them was selling beach art. And I'm not creative, so trying to build this beach art, like these figures of the shells, it was a disaster, basically. It lasted like 3 days. And that definitely got ticked off the list. Then we realised I was selling, like I used to have stick insects and stuff as pets, and I was selling their eggs or offsprings on Facebook Marketplace, and it was such a demand for like these bugs. We realised there's a bit of a gap in the market, and it was only one other store in Wales that sold bugs as pets. So yeah, we kind of honed into that idea, and everything sparked from that.
Wow, but I know Becky. Becky, we used to do a lot of work together with Young Enterprise UK.
Yeah.
So to hear that is great because and she's married now. I think she's Buckley or her surname's changed. I still know her as Becky Pask. So I met her at an event a few months ago, and I was like, "Oh, I thought your name was married, yeah." So, but great to hear that inspiration.
Yeah. 100%.
Do you still keep in touch with Becky?
Oh yeah, pretty much every day. Yeah.
Fantastic! It's fantastic to hear that, and so you started off with bugs. Yeah. And how long did that business last? Talk me through the sort of progression, because it's no mean feat to start a business, but to do that as a 16-year-old, fair play.
Yeah, so it was started at 16. I was in college at the time as well, studying, and I was working part-time in Joe's Ice Cream as well, so juggling a couple of hats there. It eventually started growing a bit while I was in college. It was building up a little bit. Then I decided to go to university. At this point, though, we just launched a New York franchise, which the first franchise wasn't a great success. We basically lost 10K overnight. So it was getting to like COVID. The person I was going to take on a franchise we couldn't meet because we couldn't travel. It was like the first proper COVID wave where everyone in the whole world was locked down. Not even business travel was allowed. So we decided to send 10K's worth of stock, and he ran with it. So that wasn't a huge success, but eventually we did meet someone. He was a veteran in the 9/11 sort of attacks as well. So he had a really nice sort of story as well to tell. So he was a perfect fit for us. But it then became a success. But yeah, up to that point, we went from just a little 16-year-old kind of business to a massive New York franchise to then eventual sale, which was crazy, all in about 5 years.
All about 5 years?
Yeah.
So you would have been 20, 21 selling the business?
Yeah, 21, yeah.
You sold it. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I never imagined it would get to that point. So yeah, it was a bit of a shock, but a good shock, I guess.
Good shock. Why did you sell it then? Did you lose interest, or was it the money was too good? What was the sort of motive to sell?
A lot of interest was lost. Like, to be completely honest, I wasn't a 16-year-old. I was then, so it wasn't a hobby anymore. It wasn't an interest. But yeah, the money influenced it quite a lot too. I was 21, so as soon as I saw a couple of figures on a piece of paper, I was like, "Yep, I'll go for that."
But I think it gets like that sometimes in business. You have a hobby and you can commercialize that and do that and earn money off it. But the moment it becomes a business, it can then lose the sort of heart of why you do it in the first place.
Yeah.
So I can completely relate to that. I mean, I love what I do now, but there are some days where you think, I just want to make films for the fun of it.
Yeah, 100%.
But ultimately, we've got to make films to pay the bills. So that's the real the real goal. But I love it when we can help people, and maybe it's not breaking the bank. We're doing it for fun. But yeah. Totally relate to losing that interest, because that happens. And I can see that you're definitely a serial entrepreneur, because that was your first business.
Yeah, indeed. We've moved on. Definitely not bugs anymore. But in between, actually, I had another business, which was skincare. So I tried to tap into the sort of beauty world. Completely flopped. It was the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. I don't know how I went from bugs to beauty. There's no sort of,
Is that a link?
Absolutely not. A lot of people thought we were using bugs in the skincare, but I could confirm we weren't.
No bugs were in the skincare.
There was no
disclaimer.
No snail slime or anything like that. I know it's used in Korean skincare. It's quite big in Korean skincare. Yeah. So a lot of people thought we were going to go down that route, especially when I sort of hint the new sort of venture. But would have been good, I guess. Good USP.
Wow, Korean skincare. Very interesting. So So you started this alongside just before selling the business, and then you say it flopped. What was it? Do you think was it a timing thing? Was it I mean, it's a huge industry. It's a huge industry to compete in. So we were too small a fish to sort of compete in that world. What was the sort of when you say a flop? What was the nail in the coffin then, so to speak, for you?
Trying to break entry, to be honest. We were way too small. We were trying to do skincare, which was needles in the bottles. You wouldn't need a needle if you have a phobia of needles. We had like Botox serum and stuff like that, which is great, really new into the market, but trying to educate the consumer and trying to break that, this little indie brand into this huge market, it was too difficult.
Probably would take a lot of money and marketing to
Yeah.
make it succeed, but then, the big boys or girls or whoever they are, they've got lots of money in their pockets, haven't they?
Yeah,
That
100%.
industry.
Yeah, and it's all owned by like one or two big companies, so it's,
Unilever, probably.
yeah.
They have these big consortium brands, and that just own all these. You think they're competitors, but actually they're owned by the same people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Which is crazy. Okay. So, skincare. Apart from Korean skincare, there is no link to bugs and skincare. And, so tell me about the Secret Plant House. Where did this idea get inspired? Your third business, by the way.
Yeah. So it was very, very random. I knew plants sold well because of Bug Box. We used to have a plant section because people used to have planted tanks and that kind of thing. So myself and James were in Trago Mills one day. First ever time I went to Trago Mills, and they have this massive like garden centre section. So we just saw a ton of cacti. Kind of looked at them and thought, why don't we set up a plant business? And it just sort of went from that, really, with the most random sort of setup I've had. But it was the same with Bug Box. It was so random, yet so successful. And hopefully that's the sort of direction the Secret Plant House is going in.
Great, because plants in Wales, there are lots of little small shops. So, a bit like the insect, there's already a store. You were second to come to play with being an insect business in Wales. But there are quite a few plant shops. So why do you think the Secret Plant House, what does that bring to the table that maybe the others don't? Or maybe it's just trying to complement what's already been done in an area that doesn't have it.
Yeah. So we lack quite a lot of that sort of industry in Carmarthenshire as a whole. Like, for example, in Ammerford, if you want houseplants, you're either travelling to Swansea or you're going into Carmarthen. But then we bring that sort of rare, exotic touch. So we tend to be a bit less boring, I guess. So it's not just your spider plants, your snake plants, those kind of things. We've got your nice, rare, variegated versions too. So yeah, we're a little less boring, I'd say.
A little less boring.
Yeah.
That's probably very true. I remember walking in, I felt like I was walked into the jungle. This little shop in Ammanford. So there's a lot that you offer. Because I don't really have green fingers. Right? I'm not much of a gardener. My father was very much so. And my McGee to Key, it's just gardening's never really enthused me that much. It's I do appreciate nice greenery and a well looked after garden. But for me, go into a garden centre, go into B&Q, I wouldn't know what plants are what. So are you saying that what you offer, the rare exotic plants, these are some things you can't get in some of those big places?
Yeah, basically. So a lot of them you need like extra sort of licensing legislation, etc., to bring them in. Since Brexit, where we don't have the free trade movement, so the garden centres and stuff tend to stay away because they've just got a ramp
because of
price.
Brexit.
Yeah. Brexit pretty much almost killed the industry, which was a challenge because when I was going through the Brexit period, we were in Bug Box, but we had plants, so that completely killed the plants off from Bug Box. So I knew going into the Secret Plant House it was going to be a challenge. Thankfully, it's come on the last couple of years since, but there's still stuff like cacti and stuff which are impossible to get in unless you're paying bigger bucks. Then you got to have like a HGV full of just cacti. So we just do that extra mile and we'll go and get that in because the others it's not cost effective for them, basically.
I get that because of Brexit, just general importing goods, right? If it's food, pets, plants, countries are very strict on what can come in due to, it could be bacteria, it could be disease, isn't it? They've got to think of those things because you bring in a poisonous plant and you might start the next COVID.
Yeah, 100%.
It'll be your fault.
Yeah.
So I get why those sorts of things are in place. But yeah, it's interesting to know that, there's so much difficulty. So how have you managed to get some of these rare plants in Ammanford?
We work quite a lot with DEFRA and the sort of other government organisations, and then we just we spent hours doing the extra paperwork and everything then to bring them in. Customs checks can be a bit of a pain because we're always held up because they need to go through this extra paperwork. But yeah, other than a couple of hours of extra work, it's completely rewarding for us, and it sets us apart.
Go the extra mile to get the extra goods, and there's one I've seen. I'll have to remind you later. There was this one reddish plant that I came to the shop to get, and it was. Do you remember it? It's like green with red leaves.
Yeah. I think we've got some coming in actually today.
Send me today. Yeah. I'm buying it now. I'll send you a DM later. Save one for me. Yeah. I'll tell Amy later. We'll find some plants. Fantastic. It's great to see that you got that real extra care and attention for those sort of unique things. You've got your third business. What have you learnt from? I mean, you would have learned lots over these years running all of these three things. It seems like you're good at starting things.
Oh yeah, I enjoy. Yeah,
and you got to finish in it because the first one it went very well, didn't it? But it's good, and it's good for you to acknowledge the failed businesses, because I think that it's important to acknowledge that, because ultimately we all learn lessons, don't we? Something I always say to myself: you win or you learn, right? So if something fails, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
it's a good thing if you learn from it. If you don't learn from it, then yes, it is a complete failure. So to take the learnings from the skincare business would make this third business now even stronger.
Yeah.
But what are some of the lessons, the biggest lessons you've learned over these 5 years in running your businesses?
Yeah, definitely quite a few. I think don't wait around to be my biggest lesson. We've always waited around for the right customer or the right breakthrough or just even launching the business itself, to be honest. And just getting out there and winging it is completely paid its rewards off. So, yeah, that's probably the biggest sort of lesson, I'd say.
And that's good you say that, because you own it. You authentically say, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Even to this day, I have no clue. Absolutely no clue. But
it's good, and I like that, and I think that relates. That probably makes you this likable person that people buy from you. They're buying from the Secret Plant House, but they're buying from you, really, because there's a lot of people out there, and you would have seen it in your in your sort of community of consulting and helping supporting businesses, where people claim to know what they are doing and actually don't. There's a big difference between saying, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm giving it a go, and yes, we know what we're doing, but deep down they don't. And that really annoys me, Cameron.
Yeah, same. It's like these Instagram entrepreneurs and stuff. It's so fake, basically. I definitely don't get up at 5 a.m, spray cold water on my face, run to the gym. Like, it's just so fake. But yeah.
Journaling, gratitudes.
Yeah, I don't have time for it.
I mean, gratitude for me as a Christian is very important. But you're right. You'll often have these pictures of these successful people, and it's that typical thing. They get up at 5, they go to the gym, they exercise, they eat healthily, and all these things to make them ultra successful. But like you, I'm not getting out of bed at 5 in the morning.
No chance.
No chance. You're still young, very young. What advice would you give maybe to those like Becky? Becky inspired you to go and start this little bugs in a box business.
Yeah.
What advice would you say to maybe a 16-year-old who is listening to this now and maybe wants to start a business?
Probably don't let anyone hold you back. It's great to get opinions, but just remember your friends, your family, etc. They're gonna want what they think's best for you. 9 times out of 10, it's going to be that typical, you need to go to college, university, then you need your 9-to-5 job. But that's what 90% of the world is stuck at. But yeah, if you feel that entrepreneurial spark, go for it. Don't let anyone hold you back.
Good. Secret Plant House, what's the goal over these next few years? Because you've successfully set up in Ammanford in this little shop in the arcade.
Yeah.
It's very small. If you go in there, it's very cozy, but it's lovely. It's very beautifully decorated with all these wonderful plants. Where do you see the Secret Plant House taking you over these next few years, and where would you like it to be?
Well, we'd love it to go into like more of a garden centre. Again, we like that boutique market, so it would be like a nice garden centre, deli, espresso bar, that kind of thing. We're working on something in Ammanford that's going to get us a step closer to that, at least. But then we'd love to have permanent concessions in your department stores. So we got pop-ups in John Lewis, which is great. Absolutely love them. But we'd love to make that permanent then too, and be that destination for your rare house plants.
Are you going to be able to do that all on your own?
Oh,
I know you've got a
definitely not.
business partner and a partner.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's definitely a team effort. We've had fantastic, even like friends. One of my best friends, Katie, she will, on her days off, come and help us in the shop all day. Don't expect anything for her. She loves it. She always goes home with 10 plants that her cats can eat, though. But it's fantastic. We've got a lovely sort of network around us, so it's, yeah, fantastic.
Great. Oh, I love this idea. And yeah, to feature in a store like John Lewis as a vendor, that's quite an achievement for a business that's still in its inception. You're not even 2 years old yet, are you?
11 months.
Not even a year. You've ended up in John Lewis. Yeah. You could talk the talk, Cameron. That's proven right there. And you've also featured in some festivals, or you've had your plants at other events that are sort of prestigious in the industry, is it not?
Yeah. So we're in Chiswick Flower Market. We're a permanent trader there, which is incredible. It's a good drive for us up to London every first Sunday of the month, but it's fantastic. It's so worth it, and it's nice to be in a market which people are normally there for years, so that's so difficult to get in. A bit like Columbia Road Flower Market, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's just great that we have a space there, and we're going in from a single pitch to a double pitch now, which is incredible.
Sell more plants.
Yep, exactly.
Come on, fantastic. Oh, it's great. I love, hearing about how you've grown this, and it's incredible because I've known you for some time, but it's actually a shock to me that it's only been going 11 months. That's flipping crazy.
Yeah.
And to see the growth you've had already is amazing. And so I love the plans. I hope to visit this espresso bar garden centre one day, however many years it takes you to get there. I'm sure you'll get there. Have you got plans to expand across other regions, or are you just firmly, you see the need in Ammanford? I want to be firmly planted there?
Yes,
we're intended.
Yeah. Well, actually, we've got Horizon 2 locations. So we've got a place in Swansea we're interested in. That'll be a plant shop, espresso bar, and Paddington Station as well. So yeah, that'd be like a nice grab and go store where you can grab a nice small plant or a bouquet, because it's a centralised station. You've got the tube, you've got the trains, but yeah.
I'm just imagining somebody on the tube with a huge flipping plant.
Yeah. A massive Birds of Paradise. It's bigger than a train.
In rush hour.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Good brand awareness.
Yeah. And you also do commissions as well?
Yes. So we do a ton of installs. We were actually in London, I want to say last week or the week before, and we were kitting out the pad for Chanel's CIO. Chief Information Officer, I think he was, which was surreal. We were taking in big statement, cacti, olive trees, etc. And we actually got to go up to his pad to do a bit of placement for him, and it was incredible. Wow. That was a manifesting moment right there.
I bet. Yeah. Fantastic. So good. So if you need any plants in your office spaces, real plants now, because they're not artificial, not fake. No, this is real, authentic green stuff. Cameron would happily have a conversation about that. The name, before I ask you my last closing question, the name, where does that come from?
So originally we set up as a market stall business. So we were just it was going to be a bit of a side hustle until we eventually found what business we'd want to go into. So we called it the Secret Plant House because we wanted to design the market stall a bit like a plant house more than a market stall. And we would pop up for a couple of hours and we'd be gone. So it's a secret, basically. It doesn't work so much now.
This is not a secret.
No, definitely not. We don't want it.
The secret? Yeah. Oh, it's not a secret anymore. Oh.
Yeah. We definitely don't want to keep her as a secret. But yeah, it doesn't work too much now. But it goes back to roots. Again, pun intended.
You can have a lot of play with these, can't you? Yeah. Fantastic, yeah. But no, I love it. It's very unique and... yeah, I like what it and it's one of those brands. It does sort of says on the tin. Yeah. You sell plants.
Yeah, a bit like Bug Box. It's all self-explanatory, but
that's what it says on the tin. Fantastic. Yeah, this podcast, Cameron, is all about telling stories, and we've got to hear a little bit about your story as a young entrepreneur. If you could spend a few moments sitting in front of somebody that has inspired you, influenced you over these years. Or maybe that could be somebody fictional, somebody in the garden industry, who knows? Whose story would you love to hear?
Mine would probably be Catherine DPLR. I think, she's incredible.
She's off her head.
She's mental, but brilliant. Yeah, absolutely incredible. And I definitely know she has some nice inspiring stories too.
She is, she's this... warm energy that's just crazy, but lovely woman.
Yeah, she brings a nice little buzz when she comes into like the plant shop, for example, and yeah, she's fantastic.
She reminds me of my mother a bit.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a quick story because she said I was at one of their network events with DPA, and somebody had said, "Oh, James has got a podcast," and she was like, "Oh, can I come on your podcast?" Yeah, if you want, yeah, no problem. So then, I'd sent her an email and say, yeah, you want to come on? And it was hilarious then because I'd seen her again.
Yeah.
And she asked me, well, James, are you going to invite me on your podcast? And stood in front of Rachel. I was like, I did. I sent you an email. And Rachel was like... so I embarrassed her a little. She apologised. But she's on there. So, it'd be great to have her come on and share. And yeah, another Llanelli business owner.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
We're taking over. Thank you so much for coming on. And for those who maybe want to know more about the Secret Plant House, maybe want to have some plants in their office spaces, commissions, or maybe they've got a pitch for you to come and trade, where can everyone find out more about the Secret Plant House?
So on our website, it's thesecretplanthouse.co.uk. Or you can follow us on social media, which is at The Secret Plant House.
Which isn't a secret.
No, it's definitely not. Please don't keep it a secret.
Please don't keep it a secret. Go and check it out. And maybe think about that next time. Next time you go and buy a plant or a B&Q, think about buying local. Keep money in the local region. I think it's very important because if you spend your money in B&Q, it's going into somebody's pocket in London or
100%.
We don't know. B&Q is a great place to go. Right?
Yeah.
I do enjoy going there. But if you can at all, buy local. Let's keep the money in the local economy. I think everyone should have that sort of attitude. Cameron, diolch i ti. Thank you for coming on and sharing your story. Thank you, mate.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me. Thank you.